Hey, I'm AWD. This is something that inspired me. Fantastic Panic. Comic books were something that I really got into in the 90s, as probably a lot of people did. Comics, I want to feel like at a time comics weren't really big in the 80s. I could be wrong. You can correct me if you'd like. I don't really know a whole lot about mainstream comics like Marvel and DC, but one of the big publishers that really got me into reading comics was Viz, which brought over a lot of Japanese manga, and Antarctic Press, which was an original publication that I'm not sure a lot of people know about. Well, they might. I mean, you might know about them. I don't really know a whole lot of people who read Antarctic Press. I got into comics such like Gold Digger and Ninja High School. And another one that I got into, which was actually really hard to find even then, and it was called Fantastic Panic. This is actually the first issue that I ever got. So this is like, I'm holding something that I read numerous times when I was a kid. And you can see, I'll post pictures. There's a lot of inspiration to anthropomorphic artwork, or furry artwork, whatever you want to call it. I rather call it anthro artwork. Because there's a lot of animal characters into it, and it's all really cute characters. There's like a centaur girl, there's a little mouse kid who's a warrior, I guess. He wields a sword, he must be a warrior. There's like a magic sheep girl, there's a little lizard girl, there's a cow girl, there's a bunny girl. I mean, there's like numerous amounts of characters in this one issue alone. Reading back on it, it's like you're not really given a whole lot of backstory. You start off seeing this character who is basically talking to a mysterious shadow, and that's how many anime kind of start off. It's kind of formulaic, but at the same time, it's different. You don't see a whole lot of this kind of style in anime, at least for me. I mean, you could argue that Samurai Pizza Cats or oh gosh, the name escapes me. I'm trying to remember, but they're really obscure. So when I look at this, I just think this is very out of the ordinary, and when I was sifting through this comic, I really got inspired to draw animal characters in a manga style. And that's really what got me into that sort of style that I have now. And even then, it was like I was dabbling with all sorts of styles. Cartoons, I was even trying Marvel stuff for a while, but I didn't like it that much. But really, it was this style that it really started to get me into making characters that were animals. And that was just fun, giving them features that were, I'm going to say this again, out of the ordinary, at least at the time. You'll even see characters in here that are they kind of inspired a lot of the characters that I have today, like Marianne Tigress. Or Tigress. I don't know why I keep mispronouncing my own character's name. I apologize to myself. Go figure. But this was I think the first and only comic that I ever purchased myself, and the rest I got from my friend Kevin, who, I don't know how he found them, but he managed to find other issues, and I have quite a few, and they're really out of order. This issue is just number 6 from 1994, and then it goes to number 8 in October, And I think this is the last one of that year, and then it goes into a new chapter in 95, where I don't even know. I have to read these again, because really, visually, when I look at these, I just think to myself, wow, this is such a great concept, but I don't know if the story is executed as well, because the further I delve into the comics, I've noticed that there's less story and more more just artwork. It doesn't even go follow a storyline, and I don't even think the storyline was finished. If I remember correctly, Ellen Winkler, who was the editor of the comic, if I'm wrong, I apologize, but I do know that Ellen Winkler was the one that brought these comics to light from the artist Ganbare, who I have no idea who that is. I just know that he is a Japanese artist, and this work is probably the only publication of his work in the US. And I thought that was really neat, because he was an artist that wanted to do something, and someone brought his ideas to the US to just make it published, you know, bring it out to the world. It doesn't matter. Someone's going to get into it, and someone did. I got into it. I do have the first volume of the collected series, which, unfortunately, in time, it has very terrible binding, so the inside just tore out, and when I open this thing, I am so careful as to not rip the pages apart like I almost did there. But this is the first introduction to the story, where you follow the little mouse guy whose name is Nee, and he is a soldier of some sort who is sort of a hero, and he saves people, and he's followed with a cowgirl who likes to cook. I'm not sure what other attributes she has other than saying moo a lot, and her name's Kiao Chen. And throughout their adventures, they go about defeating monsters and such, and they meet other characters along the way. Like, oh gosh, what's this guy's name? I think Miss Tygar, who is like a cowardly lion, a tiger of some sort. And he is brought along with the group, and he has a very mysterious air about him. And they meet up with an assassin who is a bunny girl who what is her name? I'm trying to look it up right now. I have no real idea, because they don't really introduce characters very well in this comic. And that's the big thing about it, is the story will probably lose you. If you look these up and read them, you'll probably not be able to follow them very well. I haven't been able to follow them very well, and it's mainly because of the fact that it's an incomplete set. I think this is like the first 4 issues of the comic, and then that skips an issue, and it goes into number 6, and it skips an issue, and goes to number 8, and then it goes to the next chapter, and that has missing issues. But yeah, I honestly, if anything, it's more visually appealing to me. And it's kind of crude. It's not what you would say is a very refined manga style. It's sort of like, it is its own style, and it's very, very simplistic, but adorable. I mean, you look at this, and there's no way you would not fall in love with the looks of these characters. But it's to each their own, you know? I mean, if you would be interested in looking for something like this, then by all means, please search it up. I honestly, it's really difficult for me to find any other issues, and if I can complete the set, that would be great. If I can find a replacement for this somehow, I'm sure there are other comics like this, because in time, they're not going to be perfect. But still, it's great to look at, and I need to just at some point just sit back and kind of read the entire thing all the way through, because last time I read these, you know, I'll say it, I was very confused. But you know, it's just something that is visually interesting to me, and I really wish I knew more about the people involved, because it seems I'm not doing it justice. You know, I kind of feel bad. I've done enough research that I could, and it's really difficult to find information about these things sometimes, because these are really obscure comics. If this is the first time you've heard of them, and there you go. But if there's anyone who has heard of these comics and would like to talk about their experiences, there you can comment below and talk about it. And if you would like to suggest to other people, you know, other comics that you like, then please be my guest. Fantastic Panic is fantastic. And, well, thank you so much for watching another video about my inspirations. I hope it was inspirational to you, and I hope it introduced you to something that was new and interesting, as it's still interesting to me, and I always like finding stuff like this. I've always loved this kind of stuff. So, anyway, be excellent to each other. I will see you again on the next inspirational video.